Hi everyone, another video on platform analytics today. So in this one, hopefully a little shorter, but then again, it might be another 10-15 minutes based off this series. So today we're going to look into using filters and then seeing how that interacts with the reports on dashboards. So we're going to dive straight in. Filters are used on dashboards to potentially influence the subsequent reports that fall underneath. So the best way to show you this further is just to build one out. So we're going to click on we're on this test dashboard in Platform Analytics. We're going to click on Edit, and instead of adding a data visualization, we're also going to add in a filter. So we're going to choose filter, and I want to place this at the top of the page because it usually makes a lot more logical sense to put this on. Let me just expand this out a little bit. Sorry, there we go. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to move this one down because I want this to be, let's change this down here. Okay, let's not get too worried about how it looks right now. So on this filter, we have we're given a given some options on whether we want it to like this pill option or radio buttons, and this is driven by the filter type. So we can choose things like dates, multiple selections, true or false, but I want to choose a single selection for this particular filter. So we could do a label on what it is. So I think what we will choose for this will be, let's do case type. So on all of these reports, I know that these are all driven on the finance case table. So, or to say driven, the data source is the finance case table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the source here of finance case. And because we've chosen case type, we are going to choose case type on here. So what we're doing here is we're just setting up the filter that is going to apply to all of the reports that have been selected to follow this particular filter. There's a few kind of additional options that we can add in, but realistically, it should be quite a simple thing to set up and quick to get started, and you shouldn't have to play around with those things. So if I now save this, and we're going to save the changes, we're going to exit the library, exit the editing mode, apologies, and then we're going to use this. So if it looks a bit funny now because it's reordered a few things. So if I now select, I want to just filter this by the case type of general inquiry, then it has filtered out all of this information. I don't actually know the underlying demo data for this, so it could be that the demo data doesn't give you some really pretty graphs to see right now. Let's put onboard a supplier and let's see if it gives us some more. No, and we described this before on one of the previous videos, that if there is no data available, it'll just bring this up, but you can set some custom messages as well. So we're just going to clear this down, and then it brings that back to kind of the full view with the full data set. But as you can see, that's impacted every single report as part of this dashboard. One thing just to show before we wrap up is if you want to not have a report following a filter, then you can click this here, and these are exactly the same reports. This is going to be actually a really good test. So I'm going to save this here. I'm going to save changes only for this dashboard, and I'm going to exit the edit mode. So I just went onto that. I clicked onto that report. I clicked on data update, whether to follow the filter or not. So once I've done this, I'm going to choose again. Let's put send NDA for signature, maybe. And you can see here, these obviously aren't showing any nice visualizations because there's no data for this particular filter case type. But on the right hand side, you've still got all of that data, all of the cases, so that filter hasn't applied. So again, really quickly, you can start to build up dashboards that are filtered in them by themselves. But also, if you know there's certain things, whether it's dates, whether it's the states, whether it's department, whether it's assignee, whatever it might be, you can set up these filters, and gives you lots of different views, different viewpoints, different ways to slice and dice your data without having to create lots of multiple dashboards. So really, really powerful tool. Hopefully that's useful. Hopefully you can start playing around with that and trying out with some of your use cases. And yeah, you should start to get a huge amount of other ideas on how to use this. So that's everything for today. On the next one, we'll round off this series for now on how to share and schedule dashboards and reports to be sent out to users and user groups. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching The Process Play.